So it's the Game Awards soon. You know what I'm saying? Monster Hunter Wilds Born? Monster Hunter Wilds Break? Oh, talking to you in complete darkness with some reverb on my voice. Very cool, very cool. Hello, my fellow hunters, and welcome as we talk about something that I've seen a lot of chatter on, and it simply goes thusly. Hey, the Game Awards is about to happen. It's where all the big deal reveals doth occur. Wilds was revealed at the Game Awards originally. Is it about time to get that teaser for the inevitable Monster Hunter Wilds Master Rank expansion ? And initially, well, it was a simple case of that would be cool, but I do think in recent days, weeks, there is a little bit more potential to it. But before we dig down into that, let's address the showcase that was supposed to happen yesterday. In light of the recent tsunami warning issued due to an earthquake off the coast of Japan, we've decided to postpone the Monster Hunter Showcase. We'll share the new broadcast date with you as soon as it's decided. Thank you for your patience and support. Now, of course, while it's a shame to not get the full title update reveal as planned and learn about GOG and everything going on, what matters is everyone staying safe, taking precautions, and ultimately a Monster Hunter Showcase, while dear to all of our hearts, is certainly not something worth taking any risk over. So I hope everyone is staying safe and that ultimately all is well. They will be as frustrated as some of you guys might be that this has occurred, and I'm sure that they will be scrambling to find a new suitable time to make this happen as soon as they can. And do keep an eye on the pinned comment of this video. If we get new dates or something changes or there's a new announcement to do with it, I will put it there so you guys can stay up to speed. And I feel like that as soon as they can probably has quite the deadline, because to me it feels very deliberate that it was going to be before the Game Awards, and I feel like they still might want that to be the case, which obviously just leaves like the rest of the day and tomorrow, and I guess technically Thursday itself before the Game Awards do happen. In any case though, what's actually got people thinking, this might be something? First and foremost, let's address the sort of nothing reason, which is, it would be cool, you know, the old hope and cope. And yes, it would be cool. But of course, that's not going to justify it. It will be teased when it's ready, or when it needs to be. Obviously, Monster Hunter Wilds has had a bit of a rocky path since release. It's sold absolutely furiously, and indeed has the highest peak concurrent player count of any game released this year on Steam, despite of course dipping quite severely at certain points. So the momentum for Monster Hunter is there, but between performance and potentially difficulty and content issues, the devs have talked about it, even in the recent interview that we went over, there's certainly been less retention than normal. And while I obviously adore Wilds, it's still my game of the year because Monster Hunter means a lot to me, and even without that kind of emotional attachment, I still have bajillion hours in the game, and I have adored every second. In any case, I could understand a need to maybe bring forward or push out a teaser for Master Rank inevitably coming, maybe towards the end of next year, which would make sense timeline-wise, so they can start that going over the space of a year. Honestly, the duration between the Wilds teaser that that exists and its release was quite huge by Monster Hunter standards. So if we are going to get Master Rank next year, which would make sense if we look at all of the Monster Hunter games, base game release and then Master Rank release, well, teasing it now would be kind of the way to go and would shore up interest in the series and get people excited. And that is quite a valuable thing. But also, then, we have the notion of the phrasing of the initial tweet announcing the showcase for Title Update 4. The fact that it specified that this showcase will focus on Title Update 4 with Wilds and nothing else. The event will focus solely on free Title Update 4. Now again, that could just be phrasing, but it's very deliberate phrasing, and it does leave a kind of air if we were to expand it into a bigger sentence of, for Monster Hunter Wilds, the event will focus solely on Free Title Update 4, because other Wilds announcements will be at a different event. Wink wink. You know, it has that kind of lead towards the end of it, which has got a lot of people, perhaps rightly, perhaps not, going, is there a subtle little tease in that? The Game Awards is around the corner. And if we do look at Rise, it released at the end of March, and then we got our first teaser for Sunbreak in September of the same year. That's an incredibly short period of time, and one that we've already gone past when it comes to Wilds. Wilds is obviously also being worked on for a long time, and the Master Rank expansions begin before the game comes out, because, well, there's a lot of spare time to begin development in, and it will have been furiously worked on in the background as they work on title updates and current content for Wilds. So there is entirely possible they are at a stage where they are comfortable to tease something. Do I think it's realistic to happen? Do I think the plan was, hey, we're going to do a Title Update 4 showcase, then 3 days later we're going to tease the Wilds Master Rank expansion, it's going to be brilliant, Monster Hunter, let's go? I mean, it's not the worst plan in the world, but I personally feel like maybe it's a little bit too early. Thing is, Iceborne got revealed before the title update cycle for World was finished, so it's not like it's unprecedented for this to happen, far from it. And we have talked about the likelihood or not likelihood of Title Update 5 previously, and there's plenty of reasons to think that we're just not going to get a full, proper, meaty Title Update 5. And if that's the case, if Title Update 4 is the big shebang ending, gogmazios, new armor system, new weapon system, that's it, the endgame is here, there you go, all that's left is the weapon winner, maybe like a Title Update 4.5 that's arch-tempered arkveld, the equivalent of, you know, getting primordial malzeno. That's all that's actually going to happen next year in like January or February, and then stories is going to take over center stage. Then maybe it does make sense to start the little promise of more to come. If we have stories, which is releasing in March, that'll get a good 6 months in the spotlight, and then the last sort of quarter of 2026 is the Wilds expansion. I mean, that timeline does play out, but it's entirely possible they'd want stories and presumably Outlanders to take the whole year, and then have yourself a Wilds Master Rank expansion at the start of 2027. With it being teased, ironically, at a showcase maybe halfway through the year. Obviously, the Game Awards of next year would be, to me, way too close to any potential release. I don't think there's any chance we don't see a Wilds Master Rank expansion before March of 2026. I think anything past that would be a mistake with the pacing, especially with how Wilds has turned out and a lot of people's response to it. I think it's a really interesting one. I think there is a combination of here of an immediate response of, no way it's gonna happen, it's way too early, that doesn't make any sense, but also there's a hefty amount of, actually, it does kind of make sense. It wouldn't be a bad move. It could be just the kind of positive spotlight on the game right now, just before we go into Title Update 4, which in theory should put Wilds, if the performance updates come through, in the best state it's ever been, both content and performance-wise. So having this star of the show, Title Update 4, this incredible capstone, if it is the last one, of Wilds, enjoying that while knowing the Master Rank expansion is teased, that's going to get people invested in Monster Hunter, and that might be quite the play. It's not like we got anything further on Wilds for ages after the initial tease. They could easily do the tease at the Game Awards, and then we don't see anything else for another 3-4 months. That's not out of the question either. I think there certainly is some potential here. I don't think it would be reasonable for anyone to say it's definitely not going to happen, it's impossible, but I do think that it's perhaps unlikely. In any case, I'd, give it like a solid maybe 25% chance, but that's 20% more chance than I would have given it even 2 weeks ago, so that at least says something. I really can't wait to see what happens. In any case, let me know what you guys think, of course. Are you on team it's too early, or are you on team no, I think it would make sense. It's about the right point to hit the hype of that being a thing revealed and confirmed, even though we know it's going to happen. Of course, every Monster Hunter gets a Master Rank expansion, but is now the time to hit that beat? Potentially it is. And did that phrasing of the showcase imply as such? Is there a reason it's happening before the Game Awards? I think if they find a way to still make the showcase happen before the Game Awards, if they go out their way to do that, that might be quite the signal. But again, hope and cope, of course, is the chief runners here, but it is interesting to think about. For now then, let me know what you indeed think about this. Subscribe and hit the bell for more, like if you enjoyed it, consider supporting the future of the channel on Patreon down below, and until we meet again, a goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.